Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin and welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about one of the biggest sticking points when it comes to retirement planning, required minimum distributions or RMDs. This is the moment where the government steps in and says, hey, you don't get to control everything anymore. Now we're going to step in and tell you exactly how much you need to take out of your accounts every single year. And if you don't, guess what? There's penalties. And for those who've built a very carefully crafted, safe withdrawal strategy, this can feel like RMDs throw a wrench in their plans. If you have a traditional account, a 401k, a traditional IRA, or other type of pre-tax retirement account, you must start taking required minimum distributions once you hit age 73. You can always withdraw more, but you can't take out less than the required minimum distribution without incurring a penalty. The minimum is based on an IRS table. You simply look up your age, take your account balance from the previous December 31st, and divide by the factor provided. For example, if you're 75 and your traditional 401k had a $750,000 balance on December 31st of last year, you would divide by 24.6. That gives you an RMD of $30,487.81. Now, personally, I would round up to the nearest whole dollar and take that as my distribution. A few extra cents isn't going to destroy your retirement plan. And the IRS does not have strict rules when it comes to rounding, but I would round up just to be safe. Now, whether or not you need this money taken out of your account to fulfill your spending, that doesn't matter. That's the minimum amount you must withdraw. You can always take more if that fits your plan. And just a quick note, while the current RMD age is 73, thanks to Secure 2.0, it will increase to 75 by 2033. For many retirees, this is where friction starts to happen because so much of retirement planning is about control. We want to control when we make a withdrawal or how much we take out or which account we take it out of. But with an RMD, Uncle Sam steps in and says, nope, here's the amount you have to take out and where you have to take it out from, whether you need this money or not. One of the biggest worries I hear from people approaching retirement is that RMDs are going to trip up their withdrawal strategy. Many of us build our retirement plans around a safe withdrawal rate, whether that is 3% or 4% or 5%, a number that feels sustainable to us for the long haul. But here's the challenge. RMD tables don't care about your safe rate of withdrawal. They don't care about your spending needs. The IRS has the schedule and you have to follow it. RMDs start out fairly modest in your early 70s, just under 4%. If your safe withdrawal rate is in that same ballpark, it may fit neatly into your plan. But as you age, the percentage ramps up. By age 80, you're required to take out about 5%. By 85, it's over 6%. And it just goes up from there. And that's the whole point. The IRS wants to ensure that this tax-deferred money eventually comes out and gets taxed. This is where concerns set in. Retirees start to ask, what if I'm forced to take out more than what I consider safe for my portfolio? What if I deplete my savings too quickly? The truth is, it depends on your situation. If you have multiple buckets to draw on in retirement, say it's a Roth, a traditional, a brokerage, taking out a greater percentage from your traditional might not upset your withdrawal strategy at all. But if most of your wealth sits in a traditional account, those increasing RMD withdrawals could force you to take out more than you ever planned to spend. And if you're only ever taking out your RMD and nothing more, your portfolio can quietly be compounding year after year. And this growing portfolio, combined with a decreasing life expectancy factor, can be a double whammy when it comes to your withdrawals, pushing your withdrawal higher and higher every single year. That is why so many people with very hefty traditional account balances worry that RMDs could derail their plan. They could derail what they consider to be a safe rate of withdrawal in retirement. So for that, let's run an example. Suppose you retire with a very robust traditional 401k. Let's say $2.5 million. The year you turn 73, your first RMD is going to be about $94,000. Now, if your plan was to spend about $100,000 in retirement, this could line up quite nicely with your plan. You could actually withdraw a little bit more and maybe help to reduce your future RMDs. But what if you only want to spend $70,000 this year? You can't just take $70,000, you have to take the full $94,000. And this is where that anxiety creeps in. What do I do if I'm forced to take out more than I actually need? Here's the thing a lot of people forget. You don't have to spend the entire RMD. Yes, this money has to come out of your retirement account, but you can easily reinvest the money you don't need for spending. For example, let's say your RMD was that $94,000. Let's say you want to spend $70,000 to cover your lifestyle. You can simply reinvest the remaining $24,000 into a taxable brokerage account. That money can go right back to work, right into a low-cost index fund. So maybe you had to withdraw more than you wanted to. Heck, maybe you had to withdraw more than what you considered a safe rate of withdrawal. But that doesn't mean the money is gone. You can just shift it from one portion of your portfolio to another. This money can still get reinvested. You can still keep it working for you, and that perspective alone should help to bring some peace of mind. And here's an added benefit. When your heirs inherit that brokerage account, they'll get a step up in basis. That means the value resets to the date of your death, which can significantly reduce the taxes they owe. Compare that to inheriting a traditional account. If you were already taking RMDs, your heirs must continue taking RMDs. Also, the account has to fully be depleted within 10 years, and every single dollar that comes out is taxable as ordinary income. If they're in their peak earning years, inheriting a traditional account can actually be a tax burden. And from a tax perspective, a traditional IRA, traditional 401k, or account type like that is one of the least favorable accounts to inherit. Maybe you're thinking, hey, I'll just take my RMD and move it into my Roth. I'll do a Roth conversion with that amount. Well, unfortunately, you can't do that. Here's the golden rule you must follow. You cannot convert the RMD itself. In your RMD year, the first dollars that leave a traditional IRA or traditional 401k are deemed to satisfy your RMD itself, and those dollars are not eligible for conversion or for rollover. After you satisfy your RMD, then you can convert an additional amount if you want to. Let's run through an example. Suppose your RMD is $150,000, but you're only planning to spend $90,000, leaving you with an extra $60,000. That $60,000 cannot go straight into a Roth. That is why I love a brokerage account so much. They have absolutely no restrictions whatsoever. You can take that $60,000, put it in a brokerage, keep it invested and working for you, and you have flexibility. You can access this money whenever you want. But let's say you want to reduce future RMDs, so you still want to do a Roth conversion. You absolutely can do that, just not with your RMD dollars. After you take the required $150,000 RMD, you can then convert an additional amount from your traditional IRA or traditional 401k into a Roth. For example, maybe you decide to convert about $56,000, which would fill up the 22% tax bracket for a couple married filing jointly. You may even be able to convert more once you factor in the standard deduction, but remember that you want to look at your entire income picture and you're likely receiving Social Security, so make sure you look at everything before you make your conversion so it's smart and it makes sense for you. And here's an important tip. Always keep these transactions separate. Take your RMD in one transaction, then do the Roth conversion in another. The RMD must come first. The very first dollars to leave that account in the year you have to take an RMD go towards your RMD. Once your RMD is satisfied, then you can do a Roth conversion. Just make sure that these transactions are completely separate. You don't want to create any gray area or any reason for the IRS to come back with questions. Two separate transactions, keep it clean, keep it simple. And a quick note for those who are charitably inclined. If this is a traditional IRA and you're at least 70 and a half, you can use a qualified charitable distribution or QCD. With a QCD, the money can go directly from your traditional IRA to a qualified charity. and that money can satisfy your RMD, and it's not taxable to you. So this serves to lower your tax bill, but this option is not available from a traditional 401k. And remember, this doesn't have to be all or nothing. If your RMD is $150,000, you could spend $90,000 of it, you could put $30,000 into your brokerage account, you could send $30,000 to a charity, assuming it comes directly from that traditional IRA. You can mix and match and create the picture that works best for you. But never forget this, your RMD itself is not eligible for direct Roth conversions. Now, there are different RMD rules for different account types. With IRAs, you can calculate the RMD required from each account, but then when you go to take your RMD withdrawal itself, you can take it from a single IRA account or a blend of the accounts. You have a lot of flexibility here. But with 401k plans or other work type plans, the rules are different. You have to take each account's individual RMD from the respective accounts. There is no aggregation allowed here. You do need to be mindful of tax consequences. Adding RMD income on top of everything else could push your Medicare premiums up if your income crosses certain thresholds, or it could make more of your Social Security benefits taxable. Remember, up to 85% of your benefits can be taxed, and large RMDs almost guarantee that you'll hit this cap. So yes, there is strategy involved, but the key takeaway always remains this. Just because you have to take your RMD, you have to take that money out of your traditional account, it does not mean you have to spend it. Another really smart way to put your RMD dollars to work is by helping to fund education through a 529 college savings plan. Now let's be clear up front. You would still owe federal income taxes on your RMD. There is no deduction on the federal level for contributing to a 529. But here's where a benefit may come in. More than 30 states plus DC offer a state income tax deduction or credit for 529 contributions. The total amount does depend on the state, and it depends on whether you're a single filer or married and filing jointly, so look up your state specifics to see if this has a benefit. And in what are called state parity states, you can even get the deduction no matter which state's 529 plan you use. So if you're a grandparent contributing to your grandchild's 529 plan, this can be a great way to use your RMD dollars. It can help to reduce your state tax bill, and you're giving a tax-advantaged gift to your heirs. Here's why. Once that money goes into a 529, it grows tax-free. And when it's used for qualified education expenses like tuition, fees, books, or room and board, it comes out tax-free as well. So effectively, you've taken your after-tax RMDs and put it in a tax-sheltered investment for your grandkids. There's also an estate planning angle. You can front-load up to 5 years' worth of contributions all at once. That can be a really attractive option if you're managing a large estate and want to shift assets out of your taxable estate while still keeping control of the account. So whether you're simply trying to help with college or leave a meaningful legacy, using some of your RMD dollars to fund a 529 can be a tax-smart strategy and a very family-focused strategy. At the end of the day, there are really 3 things you can do with your RMD. Use it, grow it, or give it. You can use it to fund your lifestyle and spend on the retirement you've worked so hard to build. You can grow it by taking your RMD and putting it back into the stock market in a brokerage account. And here you put that money back to work, but you can access it at any time, so ultimate flexibility. Or you can give it, whether that's to a charity through a QCD, whether it's to a loved one through a 529, or maybe you simply make an annual gift to a loved one. RMDs don't have to derail your retirement plan. They're just another lever to manage. The government dictates how much comes out, but what you do with it, that's your choice. The next step is your choice. So don't think of them as a punishment. Think of them as a nudge to use your money in a different way. How would you use an RMD? Leave your thoughts in a comment down below. I post new videos every single week. If you got anything at all out of this one, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Or if you know of someone who might get something out of this type of content, please consider sharing. I'll see you soon. Bye. Dollars just to be dollars. Dollar. Expectancy factor. I heard it. Could quietly be compounding in the background. It might be important to state. Let's do it. I feel like today's a good day, but strongly, I'm not gonna say that. I heard it in my head, even before it came out. I'm not gonna say it. Okay, let's do this. My battery just died. Now I have to play I can't talk. Good thing I'm filming today. Now I have to play battery roulette and figure out which of my other batteries do work, because half of them work, half of them don't, and they all look the same. So yes, common sense would be to throw the ones away that don't work, but it's not as straightforward as that. I can't pick them out of the lineup.